Let's jump right in, because we're looking at a brutal but absolutely necessary psychological wake-up call today. The core message from our source material is incredibly direct. No sugarcoating. Nobody is coming to save you. You need to lock in. It's time to stop waiting around and actually start building. We're hitting the ground running with a pretty heavy hitter, Carl Jung. He said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. What Jung is getting out here is that, your greatest prison in life, it isn't your circumstances, it's not your bank account, and it definitely isn't your past. It's this hidden unconscious expectation that someone else is going to swoop in and just fix your life. And as long as that belief stays buried in your unconscious, it's driving all your choices, and you're just left wondering why you feel so stuck. Section 1. The addiction to rescue. Why you remain trapped. So you need to realize something kind of wild. You aren't actually addicted to failure. You're paralyzed by a hidden addiction to being rescued. There's this huge contrast between two ways of living. On one hand, you've got the victim mindset, just waiting around for a better economy or a perfect mentor to show up and save the day. Because think about it, as long as you can blame the storm, you never actually have to take on the terrifying responsibility of learning how to sail. But then there's the builder mindset. That requires taking total action. It means choosing true freedom over the nice, warm illusion of comfortable safety. And the exact cost of that victim mentality is staggering. We're talking about a massive 90% of your energy going straight into waiting and blaming. That leaves what, just 10% for actually building your future? When you operate this way, you literally drain your own potential. You spend years just staring out at the horizon, waiting for a ship that was never, ever sailing towards you in the first place. Section 2. The inner enemy. Confronting your shadow. Okay, to really understand this shift inward, we have to face a genuinely disturbing truth. Your absolute greatest enemy is not a corrupt system, it's not a rival, it's not even a bad childhood. Your greatest enemy is the one living right inside your own mind. Jung called this the shadow. It's this hidden, unconscious version of yourself that, weirdly enough, secretly enjoys remaining powerless. It actively sabotages your attempts to grow. Because, well, it wants to maintain the familiar comfort of your current prison. It wants to keep you dependent so you always have someone else to point the finger at when things go wrong. It's a daily internal war. You tell yourself out loud that you want success, discipline, freedom. But the shadow, it contradicts to every single one of those goals. While you reach for success, your shadow is whispering for comfort. While you strive for discipline, it hands you these really easy, convenient excuses. And while you claim you want freedom, the shadow is actively pulling you right back into dependency. So what's the actual fallout of ignoring this inner traitor? I'll tell you, the costs are severe. The shadow keeps your goals unfinished. It makes you break promises to yourself, and it causes you to trade your genuine authenticity just to get a little bit of approval from other people. The absolutely crucial point here is this: whatever you refuse to confront will eventually own you. If you don't bring the shadow into the light, it's going to rule your entire life from the dark. Section 3. The Crucible, forged in isolation. So how do we actually cure this dependency? Well, it takes a profound insight into self-reliance. Think about historical figures like Marcus Aurelius or Napoleon Bonaparte. And let's be honest, Napoleon wasn't exactly known for his warm and fuzzy personality, right? But they didn't build their unbreakable minds in front of cheering crowds. Their true power was forged in solitary moments of extreme pressure. Late nights when nobody was helping, nobody was rescuing them, and they had to rely entirely on their own internal resolve. You might wonder, why is solitude so effective? Simply put, solitude removes all your escape routes. Period. When the crowd disappears, the applause totally fades out, and you are finally completely alone, you're forced to face the truth. You find out real quick if your confidence and discipline are genuine, or if they were just a performance you were putting on for external validation. Nature actively demands pressure for genuine growth. If you look at how strength is forged, it stays pretty low when you're in a state of comfort. It rises a little bit when you have support, sure, but it absolutely maximizes under suffering and isolation. Diamonds require intense pressure. Steel requires scorching fire. It is a complete fantasy to think you're going to achieve maximum personal growth while remaining perfectly comfortable. It just doesn't happen. Section 4. The Architecture of Destiny. Setting standards. Once you stop waiting for rescue and you finally run out of people to blame, there's only one thing standing between you and the life you want: your personal standards. Let's walk through this carefully because this is key. Your true standard is not your dreams. It's not your motivation. Your standard is strictly, brutally defined by what you repeatedly tolerate. It's the daily habits you allow, the physical environment you accept, the people you let into your circle, and most importantly, the promises you allow yourself to break when nobody else is watching. Building true self-respect follows a very concrete progression. First, you drop all the excuses and the blame. The victim mindset has to die. Second, you set an unbending standard. And third, you keep the promises you make to yourself, especially in the dark. To truly lock in, a disciplined person simply does not negotiate with comfort, and they definitely don't wait for the quote-unquote right mood to take action. Here is a hard, unavoidable truth that we all need to internalize today. You cannot expect greatness while actively tolerating mediocrity in your daily life. You simply cannot demand to sit on a throne while you're simultaneously choosing to live like a prisoner to your own comforts and excuses. It just doesn't work that way. Section 5. The rebirth. Death of the old you. Truly locking in requires a literal psychological death of the person you used to be. Transformation isn't just changing a couple of habits, it's a complete dismantling. Think about the path to rebirth like this. In the past, you were waiting for rescue. Today, in the present, you are confronting your shadow and stripping away those excuses, which naturally leads you to a future of total self-reliance. But, a warning, crossing this border is painful. You have to completely dismantle the old version of you. The one that worshipped comfort, the one that feared judgment, and the one that needed permission just to exist. Bringing this entire explainer full circle, we arrive at this incredible realization. The very moment you accept responsibility and stop waiting for a rescue ship, you uncover the leader you always needed. The mentor, the savior, the hero, they were buried beneath your excuses all along. And when you finally realize this, you become an impossible force to control. I'm going to leave you with this final thought. If the old, comfortable, excuse-making version of you died tonight, who would rise from the ashes tomorrow? The choice is entirely yours. It's time to lock in, accept total responsibility, and become the architect of your own destiny. Right now.